We are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to session 93 of Papihos. My name's JC, or Jacob, and I am joined here by five wonderful people. Jazz, Alpha, Suzanne, James, and Helminia, each playing their respective characters in our wonderful little story. We have much to do in much more time, as the last session we have moved into a period of downtime, loose threads, and finding out interesting things about each other's characters. So, as a reminder to everyone out here that this kind of session is not necessarily the most, what I'm trying to say is these sessions are not the most stringent in how the time works. The time's going to be a little bit odd, and we'll be jumping back and forth because we did the thing that you are never supposed to do in a D&D game, which is split the party, as not a single member of our group of heroes is going to be constantly next to one another. Currently at the moment, I think our largest group is Rem and Suna. And I do think we're going to pop ahead just a little bit, because there's a couple days basically that have happened. A good week of travel for Rem, Suna, and Barris, who went along with them to Icaria. There's still waiting for Gilgamesh, who decided the first thing he wanted to do was to upgrade his armor, and has been unwilling to move until his armor is sated. And travel for Nime, as Zek sent her to the Grand Library of Usapate, where she then returned to her hometown. So, that does leave one member of the group, though. Zex.
Yes.
You've been hanging in Greywall, staying in the keep with Gilgamesh, but you've been doing something a little bit more. You have been spending the undisclosed, basically, amount of time within a week of helping out, holding down the keep and looking for contracts to take advantage of. With your experience, you are able to take on pretty much any contract that the guild can throw at you right now, with or without partners, as you do have opportunities to do things with O'Brien. You do have a chance to go on an outing with Kylene. All of these members of the Mage and Fighters Guild that you have an opportunity to do stuff with, but none of the actual contracts, unfortunately, are of much note. There's a band of goblins that goes through the northern trail above Greywall that you're able to scatter and dispatch. There is a general reconnaissance and cleanup. Some people still... There are a lot of vendors who are traveling to and from Foremount, or even to Greywall from Slabeline, that want protection, as the northern paths have been for the last half a year been a little more perilous, and all of these jobs are something you can easily accomplish. But with that, I believe that there is something else that begins to take root in your mind that you would like to accomplish.
Not until Rem gets back, I don't think.
Okay. So that is what you're doing for the time being.
For the time being, that is what I am doing.
All right. So, with people waiting on something, some people waiting on people, others waiting on armor, I do believe we go south. Icaria, the land populated by halflings, gnomes, the historically most peaceful land that the world has to offer. Rem, Suna, the two of you travel to a place that for Suna is familiar but not at the same time. You two arrive in a place unknown in name to you, Suna, but what both of you can see as Bear steps out with you, from this teleportation hub where you are, you come out in a busy marketplace. There are carts being pulled by ox pulling through the street, the actual wheels rattling on cobblestone. There are large stacked wooden buildings put on top of each other, each going up to 4 stories tall. And there is a thriving market that the three of you find yourselves in. Rem, you know of this place, and you've traveled to it maybe once before, albeit this is not the way that you got off of Icaria. This is still one of the more well-known places in Icaria. Market, the equivalent in Icaria to, Eleonora, of being a ambassador town. Rarmad, it's functioning as a international hub for the nation and marketplace.
Okay. So I had to step away for a bit. I'm just now getting back. We teleported. Did anyone say anything, or did they just let us out?
Basically of the of getting your information, there's this basically well-dressed in beautiful red and green clothes halfling man who kind of takes down your information and writes down the fact that you three are coming in from Papihos, and marks down that at the very least Suna and Barris are visitors. It's up to Rem whether they announce themselves as a returning resident of Icaria or a visitor from Papihos.
If they don't ask, I won't tell them.
They do ask to fill it, to have it known whether you're a traveler or you are a resident.
I'll let them know I'm a resident.
Okay, so Rem is marked down on that. And with the needed documentation, the three of you stroll out onto this market street.
What time of day is it?
It's probably about 9:30 in the morning. The market is busy and bustling as all of these different residents of Icaria are moving about. Every once in a while, you guys can pick out someone who is not overtly halfling or gnomish, a human, sometimes a dragonborn, walks through as the city's a hub, but they are rare sights for you all to see.
Was I able to change my spells before we left?
It's if you'd wanted to.
I need to change at least one for this to work in a time aspect. So we can sit around here for a little bit of the day if like Barris wants to look at anything, because it's kind of like a pseudo vacation, but I do want to leave a little after midday.
Okay.
So if like we can look around into the shops, and I'm not looking for anything in particular. I am just kind of window shopping, and if anything looks interesting to me, I will grab it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Suna can see what it's like where I'm from.
And just like Suna would compare it to Sabline, the merchant hub of Rarmad does have a large amount of trinkets and oddities that could pick one's attention up off the street, of these beaded necklaces and jewelry versus these fine cases. There's someone, this gnomish woman's kind of set on the side of the street with an easel and different types of paint that's painting people for a price. There's a hot street food that is getting cooked and kind of fills the air, and the overall feeling of Rarmad is just a quick-moving, suck-you-in kind of merchant town.
I'll look to Barris and say, I could buy you a trinket while we're here, but it wouldn't really be the same since you are here, is it?
The sights so far are enough of a trinket for me, but I will keep my eyes open now that you've offered. It's so different down here, but yet very, I don't know. I guess a market's a market after all.
That's a 15 insight.
I don't know what you're trying to insight. She's talking about how
I mean, she said it was all kind of like a trinket in itself. Did she mean that in a way like this is kind of boring, or is she like a little overwhelmed?
What she was basically commenting on is the fact that she was expecting things to be very different. And you would get of you're traveling to an entire different nation. You know that the culture is probably going to be quite different. And although it is evident within Rarmad that I guess there are small things that everyone can pick up on, even if you can't comment on it. Things are different, but the fact is there are just people here shopping, there are people here enjoying the day, and she didn't expect an entire continent away things to be so similar, and it seems that she's enjoying herself.
All right. Well, I will, if we're not like looking at anything like too interesting and nothing standing out, I will get moving, and I will clock the crowd as my like carriage is moving with no horses.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, if I'm not gonna look around this area too much, I will get moving.
Mm-hmm. And you get a better pull on your horseless cart than you normally do. It's a thing of, ironically, it's interest until they see either of your companions, if that makes sense. Almost as if the residents of this town see an oddity, and then as soon as it can be explained with, oh, there's someone that's not from here behind it, even though you are there with them, it seems that that clicks for them and they kind of switch off from it and just accept it as, it's not from here, it's something else, and return to their duties. There are children that kind of get swept up a little bit more into it, and at one point there's a small scare where a young halfling boy just runs up as the carriage is trundling along and just slides directly underneath it and then keeps going afterwards. And it causes, as you see it easily, for the cart to almost kind of stutter with just your mind reacting to that. But other than that, no actual trouble is given to you guys.
The shorter races are so easygoing. All right, then. I'm gonna get moving, and we'll just keep up a consistent pace until we have to camp. Now, I knew watches were going to be an issue because I don't want bears to take watches. So I did bring Guardian of Faith with me.
Okay.
But, if you want, if Suna wants to talk at night or anything, or Barris wants to, we do have the option as we travel the few days.
We could one night.
Okay. Well, you're on the road to a town that Rem still has not disclosed the name of. Suna, you're welcome to stay up with Rem and his shimmering Guardian of Faith.
And am I able to work as we're going, with the day?
Work?
Can I make potions as we're traveling?
As long as you're not focused on where the carriage is going.
I shouldn't have to if it's just going in a straight line, right? Or I can pass off every now and again to Bears or Suna if she's not doing anything.
Yeah, it's just as it is of just someone needs to be mindful.
I'll offer Barris if she would like to drive. See how she feels.
She is delighted to give it a spin. As she does, she's quite apt at controlling things with her mind, and the carriage is no different. Trundling on without an issue. But, we'll even say 4 or 5 days into the travel, a fire going. Barris has retired into the cart for the night, and Suna and Rem are left awake.
So what do you think so far?
It's not what I expected.
What did you expect?
I don't know. Just
the more mixed race towns are not too dissimilar, but as you get to ones that are predominantly people of my height, you will have a fun time realizing that the roles are flipped. As where when we were in Papihos, they had to find a special chair for me. You're going to have a hard time finding a special one for you because they don't make them at that height.
I mean, we can just sit on the floor, right?
It's a little disrespectful to sit at the floor at the dinner table, don't you think? You won't have to worry about that at where we're going, at least in my literal neck of the woods. But that is a thing that happens if people kind of move around.
See, I don't have. You just told me I don't have to worry about it.
It's a fun thing. If we see any other places or we do anything else, you will notice it. When we're in town, because I don't live in the town, you'll notice it.
Okay.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling all right for the most part. It's been kind of hard adjusting, you know?
I understand. I understand. Is there any part of it you want to talk about? Gil says you've been a little off since then.
Yeah, it's been I guess it's been a lot to take in. But I don't know, I mentioned to you, I think I mentioned to you that, um, that when you, kind of were messing around with the magic in my head and unlocked memories, did I mention that to you?
You can tell me more about it.
I guess, I guess, I guess the childhood that I remember or remembered before was fabric, like not, it was not true. Like my mind had been altered to forget what really happened or replaced with something else.
So, do you want to talk about what you do remember? Now that you remember them?
Yeah, I I remember Gordos and like Gordos, disguised as Limrin and Trail and Navira dragging me into the temple and injecting me with something. Kind of almost looked like magic.
When you say it looked like magic, how do you mean?
I don't know, just like it was like glowing, you know?
Okay. Is that all you remember?
The important parts.
Did they take you out of the temple after that point and let you go in the surrounding area, or did you? What alterations do you think you know? And I will insight to see if I'm pushing too deep here on this. If I have to, I kind of want to gauge a bit more by her facial reactions as she's processing these things. When to stop.
Cause, JC, this this was like a this didn't just happen once. It was like multiple times, right?
Yes, this was multiple times.
Okay. I wanted to make sure I was remembering correctly before I just started saying shit.
You got it.
I mean, it was. They did it multiple times. I don't know if there's significance to the times, but I guess I didn't really know that there was anywhere else to go, I guess.
Do you remember what made you leave and come to Greywall, or kind of what was surrounding that? When did you finally
I
leave the temple on your own?
I think I don't know when I left, or I guess I'm unsure, but I don't think that choice was mine to make. I don't think I made that choice on my own. I think my memory was altered, and then through the alteration was given a goal.
But you don't remember the goal. It was kind of an alteration within an alteration, you think?
Well, I don't know. Like I was given the fake memories, and it was thrown out into the world with that, or I'm just really unsure.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I guess through that I was supposed to somehow supposed to, go back at some point, do all of what we did there.
At what point do you feel your memory's becoming more solid? What is the line where you are certain that you know what you know?
I I don't know. How do I know the new stuff is real, you know?
I cross-referencing what you remember with what others have also witnessed with you. So we saw Gordos, we know what happened, so we know that it's likely that this did happen. And we know that we don't really understand the nature of your magic. And with these ominous things that you were given, and I'm sure that there's something behind that would be causing this.
Didn't you mention that you saw other similar pools of magic?
I did.
And do you think maybe it'd be worth investigating that?
I did, but I didn't want to push you to do that so early, especially considering what happened.
I think we should. Just to, just to know at the very least.
Maybe when we reach my home, I can look into it more. But for now, let me take a look over you. And if Suna is consenting, I will do the standard medicine check and the arcana check.
I will consent.
So,
Please make your medicine and arcana check.
am I able to guide these both?
You are?
I will start with my medicine check. Okay. That is 16.
Okay. For medicine?
Yes, and then the arcana is a 32. I nat 20,
Okay.
and I got max on that guidance too.
All right. Well, there's nothing physically wrong with Suna. She's in good health. Any previous wounds that she's sustained fighting alongside you seem to have been healed up via resting and arcane healing. But with the arcana check, you look and try to see if she's marked in any way. And there's no visual markings, but you do hearken back to when you were doing a greater restoration on Suna before at the Temple of the Brine, and you recall seeing the two other arcane blockages in that moment. And you know that those, albeit probably not as intense as the blockage in her head was, they're still arcane blocks, which means that they are either restricting some aspect of your friend.
All right. I'll let her know that they're still there, but other than that, her fish-like affliction has passed.
Yeah.
You thought
Me?
about it a lot today, and it's good that you're sharing. And I'm more than happy to just help you go over the things you remember, and just help you get this all straight. But why don't you get some rest? I'll keep watch for a little bit more of the night.
All right.
Okay.
And,
After Suna goes to bed,
okay.
I am scheming.
Sure.
I'm going to
Fuck.
separate myself away from the carriage a bit just to make some space. And then I'm using commune.
Okay.
Uh, the questions that I'm asking. If I remove Suna's magical blockages, will it harm her?
You set this out. And you see no stirring as we have it of your bottle of holy water. No stirring of water. No heat comes off of it. And the water remains cold. Indicating no.
Are some of Suna's memories still sealed away?
The water does a low boil, a small rolling boil, faint but very noticeable still to you, indicating yes.
Are these sealed memories connected to the other blockages within her body?
The boiling stops. The water goes cold again.
Okay. Okay. Um, I asked will it will harm her. I should have just said is it safe. I'll wait to do that another time. I have what I need for right now. I'll leave the rest alone for a moment. But
Okay.
after that, I will go back to the carriage and rest.
Okay. The night and discussion between the two of you is completed. And with that, you guys are back along the road. The days go by with general small talk in there. Suna and Rem and Barris. What accompanies you along your travel is you are in a bit of a plains section with gusts of wind blowing through intermittently. These small rolling hills that are broken up only by the every once in a while like collection of brush trees, or sometimes a hollowed out hill or a cottage containing other people, and every once in a while a cart that passes by going the way opposite of you. Caravanners tipping hats to you and exchanging pleasantries and smiles as they pass. And after a couple more days, the three of you arrive in a town named Netherborough. This town...
Quickly.
Hmm?
I have to handle something really quickly. Give me a second.
Okay. This town basically is a riverside town, Suna, as what you see. On the northern side that you come in, you can see that on the opposite side of the town, it is flanked by a majestic forest, trees spanning upwards. These large pine trees that kind of fill and populate the southern border of the town. And kind of running through first on the western side of the town, and then looking like it hooks through, cutting through half the town itself before it hooks southward and runs into the forest itself. This large river, probably 50, 60 feet across in itself. This river that is, for what you see, full of different small craft. There are kayaks and canoes and pole fishing boats, rafts, and even a couple ferries moving through these waters, all different types of people doing different types of things along it. And surrounding the north and eastern side of the town are hilled farmlands where you can see wheat and corn and barley is all being grown by different people who, as you three are entering the town, look up from their work as you three head along and offer waves as you all pass them by. The town itself is much like the Rarmad town before, filled to the brim with halflings and gnomes working diligently on their own crafts. The smell of river-adjacent folk hangs heavy in the air as the three of you go through the town. You can tell that the majority of the commerce and industry of this town relies on the river itself. As you pass by people making nets or some other people just simply fishing off the side of the river, and the smell of people offering possibly yesterday's or possibly today's catch fills the air as well. The
Come back, I'm sorry.
other interesting thing that you can see is this is the first time where I believe all of the houses actually have 2 doors to them. And I'm not talking as in, like, there's a front door and a back door to a house. No, that's too usual. These doors are... There's a door inset in every other door. One that goes for probably a maximum of 4 or 5 feet, where then it is then complemented with what seems normal to you, a 7-8 foot tall door.
Okay. Is this where we're supposed to be, or?
This is the town closest to my home, yes. The town of... Let me look at this again so I don't give you some weird pronunciation, even though it's a very simple name.
Netherborough.
Yeah, the town of Netherborough.
Okay.
As we're going along, am I getting looks for the carriage?
There... an exceptional amount. The interesting thing on top of it of the carriage is getting looks, as well as the elven and human woman that every once in a while look out from the windows or possibly ride alongside or on top of the carriage itself. They're not necessarily meaning to be rude stares, Suna. But they are curious. They're not ignorant to people of your height, but it is an oddity to see someone of your stature out here so far. And you can any corner of the town that the three of you look, there is always a pair of eyes that then get averted.
They're allowed.
Before we go to the place that we need to go to get to my home, I have to stop at some places. So I want to stop at the nicer baker in town, because there's probably a few bakeries. I want to stop at one of the nicer ones, and I want to stop at probably not the pub, but like a general store where I could buy alcohol.
Okay. And you're buying general baked goods.
I'm buying very nice baked goods, custard and jelly filled things made from eggs and milk that are fresh.
Gotcha.
Good things.
Good things.
Real primo shit.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, there's this. The cart kind of pulls up over to the one of the bakeries, and it's this nice little domed shaped building with like a curved chimney coming out of it, and the smell as you all kind of head in is intoxicating. The general smell of fresh bread is alluring enough, but to top it all off, there are the general perfumes added on, as well as fresh frosting and others of different donuts and cakes and very, very finely made stuff as you guys step into a bakery called A Taste of Gilton. And
interesting.
Suna and Barris get to watch as Rem kind of goes in, and we're gonna test something out real quick. Nope, that's low and below. As Rem, you step up to this counter, you can see a woman kind of in this golden and yellow sundress that is currently being covered up by an apron. Her hair tied back. This halfling woman who's been just kind of moving around, pulling things out. As you can see, she pulls out this this large set of several loaves of sourdough bread, as you can kind of almost still hear the crust like pushing the inside of the bread pushing against the crust as it crackles, coming out of this large stone oven as she sets them aside, the steam coming off with the aroma filling the room. The inside of the bakery is very, very humid. And be welcome to Gilton's Bakery, and may we offer you something sweet or something savory today?
I'll be here for sweets today.
Sweets, are you? We've got an array of them. What could I interest you in?
Does she have like a display cabinet of sweets?
She
Kinda?
does. There's this thin glass kind of barring where the counter that separates you from her, just like a bakery that we may expect today, has been hollowed out, and the thin pane of glass set between. Along the entry side is the side that you're interested in, where you can immediately see all of the sweets that have been made up and set aside, all the different cookies and cakes that you could possibly want. And as you go more to the left away from the door, you get into the plainer breads.
Are these made today?
Oh, of course.
Right then. I'll take the cabinet.
Which in the cabinet, fair choice?
The whole cabinet. The whole sweets cabinet. I want the whole thing.
And she kind of spins back and almost does like this take behind her and then take back at you, take behind her, take back. And she nods to herself slowly before pursing her lips, putting her thumb and pointer finger up to them and pulling out this sheer whistle that kind of takes, at the very least, Suna and Barris back for a second, before you can see three heads of the oldest a girl and two younger halfling boys kind of poke their heads out, and she's, "Kids, we're closing up a little bit early today. I need your help." And the three of them kind of spill out of the back area as the presumably mother kind of turns back and says, "Well, we'll get that all shored up for you all nice and quickly. Is there somewhere that we can... Is this being delivered somewhere, or are we... is this just to go and we'll be storing things in bags for you?"
I'll take them myself. I don't think you'd want to deliver to where I'm going.
And one of the boys that have already started pulling stuff, he's like, "That sounds ominous." And the older sister just kind of smacks him down, pulling him from 3.5 feet to just 3 feet flat with the head smack. He's like, "You shut up." And the mother kind of nods. "Oh, of course, we're happy to fulfill this order. Come on." And the three of them begin the process of stripping out dozens of cookies and several large cakes, along with smaller pies, and all of these coming out and kind of filling the top of the cabinet as they're stacked up in nice rows. But as they start putting them into bags, the bags, these large, bulky, paper bags. These are just brown paper bags. We don't use plastic. As
The fuck's a plastic?
no plastic. As they begin kind of mulling through and pulling them all up. As the three kids go to that, and the mother begins kind of beginning to tally things up. As you can see, she takes out this small ledger and a quill, and begins to tally up things.
All right. I want to insight check as we're doing this, specifically that girl that hit him.
Mm-hmm.
25.
25. The halfling girl, the oldest of the three children that are now bagging stuff, the two boys don't exactly seem to have understood nor cared really about what you were referring to, talking about, and with that there's no pressing matter in their mind, but the girl, as she's packing, you can see every once in a while as she thinks slyly as she's reaching down under and into the cabinet, like sneaking glances up at you through it, before retreating back in and pulling, and placing things in the bag. After a while, there is, 8 of these exceptionally large bags, of enough of them for one of these bags to contain 2 larger cakes each, and other ones just being stuffed with cookies and donuts and all of these sugary delights, as the mother tallies it all up. And well, it looks like you'll be down 20 gold today.
For the whole assortment.
You cleared out our entire cabinet of sweets. It's a lot of money.
Would you prefer gold or platinum?
We'll have it sorted in gold today.
I'll give her 33 gold pieces.
She takes it and begins kind of counting through it, and after she gets past 20, all 3 of you can see she gets more flustered with every coin she puts to the side. How about a bag of fresh from the oven bread as well for a complimentary gift? Tanya, if you'd please wrap that up for the kind folk. And girl nods, and you can see she wraps up 5 loaves of bread to deposit into a 9th bag.
Thank you kindly for your generosity.
I would say the same to you. It's a pleasure, and it's always good when you can close your doors early. We'll get the boys out on the streets and run off some of their energy.
All right. Well, you all take it easy. I better get these down the river.
And as you kind of pull up, she nods, and she still has the smile, but Suna, you can kind of see her. She gets not stiff, but just slightly not. The mother's not uncomfortable, but you can see as the boys, now that he specifically mentioned the river, the boy and the girl seem a little uncomfortable as the 3 of them in 3 different trips bring out these bags to the cart and hand them to you guys to be loaded on.
So it's scary down the river.
The children helped?
The children do help at the mother's, not request, but telling them to.
Before they step away, I will beckon them towards me.
There is kind of a moment where all 3 of them pause before the littlest boy pushes the middle one forward, and the middle one does like the can we help you? Hello?
Sorry, I got a phone call. I'm going to give the one that approached a silver coin, and if the other 2 want their silver coin for the day, they have to come and get it from me. I am laying it on thick. It's been a while since I got to do this.
You just place the silver in the boy's hand, and he just kind of holds onto it, and thank you kindly, sir, and steps back, and the other 2 look at him, and the little one's like, oh, nice, and he tries to grab the middle one's like, this is mine, and the other 2 kind of look at you. If you're saying anything specific to them.
Well, come along then. You want yours too, don't you?
With that, you can see the smaller one, things kind of forgotten in his mind, immediately kind of bounces up. and kind of cups both of his hands out. He's, thank you kindly, mister.
And then the girl.
And with both of her brothers receiving it, and you can see this kind of weighing of what her preconceived notions, but also being still a kid and wanting extra pocket change. She kind of almost has her arms folded up and kind of in half steps approaches you before putting out her left hand and thank you kindly, sir.
All right then. And then I'll get going to go grab the booze. It'll be really quick, and then down the river.
You getting just a bottle or?
I'm getting 3.
3. And these are the good ones, ain't they?
Yes. I didn't drink very much while I was here.
No.
That's a habit I picked up along the way. But, I did hear things from people in mourning, and I saw the things they drank, so I'm sure I could guess what's good.
I mean, here there's no Yarian wine, there's no Dragon Breath Ale, but there is Grimstead Gin, which there is something that you've heard about more often than not. You can still get different whiskeys and stuff, but the thing that you've picked up the most is gin. They come in true to form for halflings. The gin bottle is probably the most expensive piece of alcohol you've ever picked up at 20 gold pieces a bottle, but it is worth noting that it is relatively 3 times the size of a bottle of Yarian wine.
Damn.
It's 20 gold pieces a bottle. I'll get 3 of them and hand off my 6 platinum.
And to this one, it's a older gnomish gentleman in these kind of half-framed glasses that hang down on his nose. You're having either a lovely time or you're having the worst time, and to both, this will do you just fine.
Thank you kindly for your affirmations. I'm having a great time.
The blessings of Glittergold on you, then.
Blessings upon you as well. I won't be shitty about this one. Should I? Would it be funny?
Well, you just said you weren't, so he gotcha.
He can see my shield though, the symbols on it. He knows it.
Yes, your shield is recognized here. She's still not the most popular, but she's not unpopular where you live.
All right. And then
been shitty about it.
Oh, don't worry. It'll happen more as we come to town. We're going down the river.
And with that, the cart moves along to the actual kind of docks along Netherborough. These basically set aside for both smaller craft and the larger ferries that you guys have seen. These almost like set up like normal barges with just the one side of them kind of filled with walls to basically house people in case of the weather. You can see these finely dressed and prepared mixture of rivermen along the side, as there is basically a very bored-looking gnomish woman waiting for people to pay for transit down there. And it's the kind of coming walking up as Rem kind of comes up in the cart, driving it to this bored-looking gnomish woman. Suna and Barris can see as she kind of looks up, and she looks at you, Rem, and then you can see her eyes kind of look at the shield. And without saying anything, she just kind of pulls up her hand and waves you guys forward.
Going forward, and I'll give her a nod.
Okay. And you guys go past this toll booth-esque onto the actual barge. And you guys are immediately kind of greeted by this, I would say, taller halfling, although taller doesn't really do, is more of an injustice to you guys, as the only person he clears in height is Rem himself. But he's in these, this black jacket with black slacks, as he kind of comes over. Are any of you waiting for anyone else, or is this the... we only have about 20 more minutes till takeoff. If you all aren't waiting for anyone else, we'll start the undocking process.
I'm not waiting on anyone else at this time.
All right, well, we'll start that process for you. You all get right in. Sir, I can see that at the very least you're someone, and he kind of nods at the shield with the symbol on it. Sir, I'm sure you've briefed people on etiquette. For those uninitiated, just don't jump off the boat. We don't like stopping to fish out, and that's about it. You all have a lovely ride above, and let's all focus on staying dry. And he kind of moves off and begins yelling at people, and you can see oars kind of be coming out and more dock hands kind of rushing over to the barge.
I want to tell a joke. Can I improv a joke here?
Dude, it's a D&D game. Do what you want.
Not everyone always follows those rules. I'm addressing Suna and Bears. There was a drunkard that did jump off as the return trip was going. He got where he was going anyway, I should say. I don't know if the man heard me, but if he did, I do want to catch that reaction.
And it's, Bears kind of looks over. Is every bit of this, since we've arrived at the docks, is even at the bakeries, and the subtlety of being morbid, are we going to get more of this out of you?
You know my reputation here. Never heard of it.
Look, I know that young woman was off-put by you, is the best word to say it, dear. I know that there's now been 2 people that have looked at your shield, and it seems may have broke what the normal way of life is for it. I'm sure you have a reputation that precedes you in this town, dear.
The adults, I'm a fully respected member of the community. I'm a fully respected member of the region. But to the children, I'm something of a boogeyman, you would say.
Oh. You're what parents say that will snatch them if they don't finish their supper.
Finish your supper, or the gravedigger will climb up the river and take you.
The gravedigger.
Something of that sort.
Oh.
The gravedigger, what are some other words I've been called?
The
Gravedigger's a fun one.
Well, there are any
The
good ones?
corpseman.
associated with the forest that we're about to travel into.
What is the name of this forest, JC? I don't think we ever got told that. And by we, I mean me.
Yeah. Let me pull back up the notes right here.
I'm sure this stretch of the river and this forest and the stretch of the river through the forest have a very specific name that people don't like to talk about.
I mean,
probably because it's like bad luck or something.
I mean, it's not even like the bad name. It's just that this is the Weeping Grove is a very morbid name. But the entire, as soon as you guys head into the forest, you are in the most morbid section of your region. As you know, the where you reside and what you've largely taken a part of is laying to rest the majority of souls within the central region of Icaria. At least because of the fact the adults respect you, it's good to know that they can at least grow out of it.
Most do. It's a thing of you grow to understand that. I'll talk to you about some stereotypes for a moment. Gnomes and halflings are very fun-loving people. They're whimsical. They enjoy the great things in life, big and small, everything that makes them feel alive. This neck of the woods, literally, is the antithesis of all of that. They don't like being reminded of what comes at the end of the river, literally and figuratively. So there's weird associations about it. And, you know, it gets worse when you have a giant centralized monument to it. But it is here from that I hail. And it is here that I thrive. I didn't have many friends while I was here outside of the temple. And I think the only reason I was able to make friends in Papihos is because they didn't know my reputation. You're an outlier here, not just because of your race, but because you seem to be having a pleasant time with me.
Interesting.
It's not the best vacation, but it's quite a story to go tell a Zivin, isn't it?
Well, it's interesting when someone like us comes along because we don't associate a forest with a mortuary or a cemetery. I look at it, and as what we can see, I see majestic trees as far as the eye can see. I can see the amount of wildlife that must be stored away down there. I can see the potential of it for fae and other majestic and magical beings wanting to thrive there. It's so curious that such a majestic and lush part of the continent is seen as such a morbid thing.
It's a yes and no thing as far as fae-like life thriving. Good chunks of it are Holy Land. So most magical things don't, or at least a good chunk of magical things don't really thrive in the environment. But those that fall outside of those zones, I do say for a place of rest, it is rather lively in that aspect. Though I suppose most people don't think about it that way. And it's interesting that you would see it that way. I appreciate the the different view of it all.
Well,
But
I'm
I
glad
can
that
show you my home. My temple, as solemn as it is full of its own type of life. You'll see soon.
I suppose we will. How long is the ride down the river?
Half the day, you can settle in. It takes some time.
Sounds good. Nothing like a leisurely ride down a calm river. As you do have to believe me, as I do realize that my voice often lends towards people thinking me being sarcastic. Every single part of your continent, even the so-called morbid parts, are quite relaxing.
It's a place of peace.
Indeed. As the ferry lurches, as the 20 minutes have passed and people have begun casting off, ropes getting pulled, and poles pushing away from the actual dock itself before oars get slid in, and there are 5 people on either side of the boat, some on top of the actual structures on the right side of the ferry, and others just on the platform, each with oars in different locking places as the stream carries you all down there, but they do give this slow, subtle, lazy row as you are all propelled into the forest that is Rem's home. And with that, I think we're gonna give you two a little bit of a break, and we'll continent hop. Nime.
I wasn't expecting to go next. I am here, though.
You last time reconvened and reintroduced yourself to some of the people living in your village, including finding your old master, Izumi.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I'm gonna throw it back to you.
Oh man,
And
wasn't actually prepared for this. I'll try my best.
And,
I'm sorry, boss.
well, if they basically, it's up to Nime of what are you doing? Are you?
Well, she's in his house right now.
Yeah. Of basically, you guys are having dinner. As you can see, he has this kind of the house itself. It's very obvious. It is more freshly built than any of the other houses in your village, and looks to have been built up gradually, with some parts of it looking older than others, and obviously additions that he's been adding over time. But one of the oldest things is the central room that you start with has this fire pit in the middle with this large black cast iron cauldron in the middle. And as you two kind of settle down, he asks you to sit as there are mats set around the cauldron, and immediately kind of begins moving around, taking these casks of water, pouring them in, lighting the fire as the water begins to slowly come to a boil. You can see him as he kind of sets out this slab of wood and begins procuring these packages of meat that look to have been being held in a cold storage that he takes out, unwraps, takes this blade out from just seemingly. You don't exactly see where it comes from, but nevertheless, he produces a blade and begins slowly slicing through the meat.
Do you need any food prep help? I'm sure you weren't really expecting guests.
If you want to. It's... Nime, it's not any trouble to add a little bit more to the cauldron. It will be simple, and I doubt you could expect I could make anything more elegant than a stew anyway.
Cooking was never your strong suit. Do you have any vegetables?
Of course I do. Let me go get them for you. And he stands up and kind of walks over to another part where he pulls stuff down. This room is the majority of the house, besides one other door that leads into the only other section of the house. It seems that almost everything is kept here, either hidden or propped away behind a cabinet or a box or a crate, as he kind of takes out this selection of cabbage and carrots and other things, and another slab, and sets them to you, and has another larger knife that he kind of rings against a whetstone twice in succession, and then once more against a cloth to quickly wipe it off before handing it handle first to you.
Okay. With that, Nime is going to start taking the vegetables and chopping them up, eventually kind of mixing them together, and then, I guess, throwing them in the cauldron. I'm surprised all you cook with is a cauldron. Have you just been eating stew?
No, but it is one of my favorites. It's simple, doesn't take too much time, and you do know that everlasting stew was a thing, although it's not something I practice. It's there are many more things, Nime, that one can make than stew in a large pot with boiling water.
Yeah, I suppose you are not wrong. How long have you been building this place up?
About half a year, I suppose. Hasn't been too long.
You've been here for six months now?
Give or take a month.
Well, that's good to know, but I'm just a little shocked. I wouldn't have expected you to actually start living here, you know?
Well, it was never my intention, as I'm sure you would have expected out of me. But, all it takes when you're in our profession is one good screw-up, and, you need to take some time to recuperate.
It sounds like you slacked off on training.
I would say rather to the contrary. It's just I got more into, what would it be, simpler things in life, Nime?
So are you going to tell me what happened, or are you just going to keep it to yourself?
I know you'd like me to tell you what would happen, or what has happened, and what will happen. All three of those are probably on your list of priorities.
Yes. Past, present, and future. I would like to know.
Alright, we can start with past. Does that sound like a good starting point?
Sounds perfect.
All right. Well, we, in the past, start off with a invite from an invite from a Ashha tribe to... There was a little bit of politics between the tribes up north. If you are familiar with... I don't believe I brought you up to the Salt Mites at all, but the Salt Mites are a interesting a group of mainly sailors in Ashha. They provide overseas travel and facilitate some commerce between here and the barbarous nation above. I was asked and paid upfront, mind you, which honestly should have been one of my immediate red flags, to not even dispatch, but get in the way of a group of mercenaries supplied by another tribe. Let's see. I was told that there was supposed to be 6 of them, I believe, but when I got there, this is all just side information, doesn't truly matter that much. The point is, I stowed away on a ship, got up to Ashha, picked up my payment, and went to intercept them on the journey, I should say. They had then disembarked from Ashha itself on the way to Papihos, actually. I met them in a not small, but small compared to, the capital city here. It's a town called Sabline, actually.
Oz, you went to Papihos?
For a very small stint, I did. Why?
JC, did I tell him where I was going?
You just said that you had to do something on your own.
Oh god. Oh no. Okay, back to it then. That's where I've been.
Oh.
That's where I've been residing. I'm surprised I didn't see you.
Well.
I'm sure it would make sense, though, since it's so big.
Well, my stint in Papihos didn't last too long, anyhow. Because when we arrived in the port, it wasn't hard locating the mercenaries, as they were causing multiple issues to townsfolk. However, I didn't realize until a little too late that I was a little out of my depth. I was expecting a 6v1, and the gods were kind upon me, giving me only 5v1 on there, but I understand why there were problems to people. I did little, if anything, to them, and got busted up in the worst possible way, I could say. And he kind of almost like unconsciously scratches where his left horn was shattered.
AC, is this group sounding familiar
I mean, if
at all?
if expecting 6 people and only finding 5 people, and causing
my
issues
God.
through every town that they go through sounds familiar, maybe.
Oh no. What did they look like?
Well, it was a mercenary group from Ashar, so let's see. I still have the descriptions that the general, but it's easy to remember. 4 of the 6 were dragonborn, respective colors: black, white, blue, and copper, alongside knowing a gray-skinned tiefling himself and a hobgoblin. If you care so much about the details, the white one was the one I did not get a chance to scrap with.
Do you know any of the names, specifically of the white one?
Are you all right, Nime?
I'm fine. I just would like to know if you knew any other details of this group. Like their names.
I know the name of the mercenary group. I did not get
Okay.
specifics. The mercenary group was named the Uruk's Hand, specifically derived from the mercenary tribe of the Ashar region, the Breaker clan.
I see. So, JC, pause. Was this Alpha's old? Not Alpha. Is this Gilgamesh's old group?
It's just Alpha's gang.
Oh my god.
Was it?
Oh,
Does it sound like it?
yeah.
You're free to assume.
Okay.
Let your mind run wild.
Okay. I see. I think I've met that group before, which is why I was asking.
On well, I can assume not on the best of terms by your tone of voice.
We killed them.
Oh shit.
Not all of them.
Most of them.
Most.
Who did we leave out? Wasn't it the other
It was the
Dragonborn?
blue dragonborn, the black dragonborn, and the tiefling. But the blue dragonborn is never gonna fight again. You
Wow.
absolutely, her arm is gone. She's crippled now.
Crippled. Most of them are dead, except for 2. One will never touch fighting again, likely. And the other one kind of lives in the same home as me. The one you didn't get to meet?
Well, I would. Oh,
Is
I'm
this
not-
emasculating him? I feel so bad. You failed. But we killed him.
It'd be so much better if you gave him his horn back. Like, here, this is yours.
Hey. Well, yeah, but I don't even think they would have taken it.
I
But-
would have if I beat this man's ass. I've taken things from people.
Well, I think first and foremost, congratulations on Order Nime. You've truly left me behind.
I wouldn't say that. I would just say that I carry you in my mind every day. So that means that I can just fight better.
It's a thank you for the endearing compliment. You live with one of them,
Yes. I promise he's a wonderful Samaritan now that he is out of that group. But he's a little temperamental beyond that.
Well,
He needs some rehabilitation, I'm sure.
okay. You know, there were a lot of things you could have said in response to me talking about that, but I feel like that was at the bottom of the things that I expected. That you live with one of them now and you've killed almost all of the rest.
Well, if I would have known that they would have hurt you especially, it would have given me all the more reason not to spare the one.
Oh. I'm truly honored to be held in such high esteem still by you, Nime.
Why wouldn't you be?
Well, I understood and accepted when I came back here, bandaged and bruised, that if you saw me again, it wouldn't be in the best of circumstances. Have I lost my entire edge? I would like to say no, but has my mind and body been dulled by being broken a couple times? That is without a doubt, and I can't deny that, as much as it pains me. I am, for the time being, stationary. And
Would you like to not be?
I'm still healing myself. I do know from what what medical advice I've gotten that I still need some recovery time. I've been making Dr. Oxley, the physician here, I've been keeping him up at night with the training and maintenance and upkeep of my house as well as yours already. Doing anything past that is going to send that poor man into an early grave.
I suppose. How long did he say?
Well, it's unfortunate because every time I come back to him, he always says a bit longer, but currently, as of his last diagnosis, I'm a good 3 months away from not being at risk of tearing something open.
JC, is he really that beat up right now?
I mean, there is, the first thing is he's been not hiding, I guess, but you can see, again, the large bandage that's plastered across his stomach, and you know that it disappears into the pants that he's wearing. His upper half looks to be mostly fine. Like, I'm talking like pectorals upwards, besides his shattered horn. Seems fine.
Seems fine, like actually, or is he being just stoic?
I mean, with with Nime's experience with Azumi, you wouldn't put it past him to be stoic in front of you.
That's found
Yeah.
herbalism knowledge give her a little bit more insight to the nature of wounds that she makes potions for? Could she guesstimate a little bit better?
I mean,
Can I give better medical advice than this silly little small town doctor?
than the small town doctor? I mean, it's whether Nime offers, not if Jazz asks.
Fine then. Esme, do you mind if I take a look at them? Not that I don't trust the medical advice that you were given, however, I know things when I see them.
Did you expand in your? Well, I'm sure you've expanded, but I would have thought let's say broadening your horizons. Let's
I mean, kind of why I left in the first place.
Yes, I know that I'm only good for teaching one or two things.
That's not even remotely close to true, and it's also self-degrading, so stop it.
Nevertheless, you've definitely learned more away from me than you have with me. That's evident. All right.
Okay, how do I do this? Do I just, I probably have to ask. Please take off your bandages.
Okay. And, you can see God. I'm glad I'm the only.
Off his pants for this, isn't it?
I'm
Isn't
glad
he?
I'm the only person with a
God
face
damn it.
cam. Well, all he really has to do is, he does not take off his pants.
Okay.
This is what I don't even know what the rating of the show is.
We're like a TV 14. We're like a Law and Order TV 14.
We say the F word a lot more than Law and Order
We
does.
do say.
We're
What if I made it just one more time? What if I just made it one more time?
We are
We are.
TV for sure.
We say fuck more
Fuck.
than once every
F
episode.
Maybe a titty or two, you know, the usual.
Like usual.
Surprisingly, there's been no titties the whole time.
Nope.
Nime's breasticles holding bullets.
Fucking, I don't give a fuck about your furry ass chest.
Oh Lord!
I want to see some titties. Anyway, keep going.
Devolved.
Ferris. But anyways,
You
going back.
animals.
She literally is.
But of basically like sliding the waistline down, exposing his thigh, and you can see the bandages go all the way down to about halfway across his thigh itself. And as you can see, he like slowly kind of winds away this, and it starts down at his thigh, and as it exposes, there is this you can see in it this almost like pushed in the skin itself. He has black skin, but you can see it turning like this purplish red tint.
Oh my god, it's
Yeah.
infected.
What
What the hell?
And as he moves it up, you can see this long, like, gash basically moving up, and it's like pulls across his entire stomach, almost as if like he had almost gotten cut clean in half.
My god.
And as he kind of does these, as far as we know, because I can already see the horrified look on your face, Nime.
Yes, Nime is very scared right now. She's like, how did you not die?
It is
basically how she feels right
as
now.
far as Dr. Oxley could tell, it's not infected, although it definitely looks as such. Obviously, it's not a natural thing. I got stabbed and shot and smashed plenty of times, but it was a blow, a good hearty blow from that copper dragonborn's greatsword that that I believe did this one to me.
Okay.
And at the risk of making you freak out a little bit more, it has been slowly going away. The wound was larger than this before.
Larger?
It's been getting better.
Did you lose your whole leg?
Well, it started at, oh boy, how do I say this? It started at the calf and it went all the way up to my collarbone. It's been receding on both edges. It has been healing, it's just slow. And I'm able to be mobile now. It is the... it's the, problems of someone... it's the problems of having to heal naturally in this world.
I need to write a letter.
And who is your pen pal?
I need to write a letter to Rem.
Okay.
I don't know how it's going to get to him.
It is going to take
So long. So
about
fucking long.
like 2 months to reach that.
Shit.
If you need to know something and I've already told, what do you need to ask me? I may have already told you.
I want to ask you to see if you can do anything about it.
Oh, you know I can do something about it. You've seen me bring people back to life. You know I can fix this.
It's true, but I guess it's more of a permissions thing. I'm not just gonna bring a random man into our home.
Well, here's the thing. We've been talking about it. Do you have, like, I don't know if that honey that you have is ointment. What does it say?
I only have honey. I don't have ointment.
As the person that taught you how to perform herbalism, it would be well within reason that I taught you how to make it from the honey too, as we shared that encounter together, didn't we?
Oh, yes. How did you make it into ointment is what I don't remember. I
taught you when I taught you herbalism. Just do
I
it.
need anything special?
You just need the honey, baby girl. Keep going.
Oh, good. Yay! Okay.
It's gonna take a day.
I am going to take my honey and turn it into ointment.
Okay.
I guess that'll be after the fact, though. It'll take a day to turn into ointment?
Yes.
Takes a full 8-hour workday.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to do it? Can I just, like, start the process and let it sit? Or...
It's a kind of continuous thing. It's like making chai tea. You can't leave the milk alone, you know? Otherwise it's gonna fucking get everywhere.
Does Esme only has the cauldron, doesn't he? He doesn't own pots.
Do you need a pot?
God damn it.
You should have a small pot in your herbalism kit.
Do you? I don't. Do I? Mortar, pestle, pouches, vials. No little pots.
You have a cooking set?
No.
Have fun. I'm out.
Ah! Esme, do you have a cooking pot?
Yes, I still have one.
May I sit?
Of course. And he begins re-bandaging his leg. Let me get this finished and myself back into a proper make myself proper, and then I'll go and fetch it for you.
I need to also ask, is it okay that I stay here for the evening, or would you prefer me to go to my old home?
Nima, you are more than welcome to stay here.
Okay. Perfect. Go grab that pot for me, please.
Of course, again, let me finish, and he ties off the bandages and refastens them before he stands up and kind of leaves you for a second, heading out of the actual house, and then returns with this bag that he begins pulling out different implements from before getting a cooking pot. Here you go.
Great. Can you... JC, is the only place I would be able to do this over the fire pit where the cauldron is?
I mean, if you wanted to do it over the fire pit, you could. You can also make your own controlled fire.
I will do that then.
Okay.
I will make my own controlled fire next to the fire pit and start turning the honey into ointment.
Okay. So it's off of the actual fire pit, alongside the cauldron. You set up a smaller, more condensed fire before you set the pot on and begin basically churning the honey down into this more you add kind of caking agents to it and different things. It becomes slowly throughout the time that you guys are doing this, it becomes slowly more of a paste than anything else. And throughout this, you can see he kind of steps back over and sits down a foot or so away from you, and both watches you and then occasionally stands up to stir the pot, add some things, take some spices to drop them into the stew, and then eventually takes these wooden bowls out, dips them into the stew, having one for himself and then setting a bowl next to you as well.
Thank you. This will likely solve your issue.
Well, I'm a big fan of likelies, so I'm excited.
How does he feel right now?
Would you like to make an insight?
I'm making an insight check. Bah! Oh god, I don't know anything.
What did you
Where's
get?
insight? Hold on, I have to add the insight. Where is it? Oh no! 12.
Okay.
I rolled a 6.
Nice. As you just kind of look, you're not too sure of what is going through his head, but you can just see the calm quiet, collected smile that you kind of got used to beforehand when the two of you were out on journeys, when both of you were sitting next to the campfire before.
While we're waiting for the food, I guess Nime is going to just start spewing stories of the party and what they've done and what she has done since leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Including all her confirmed kills. I would like to also include those.
I'm the top of my party with 300 confirmed kills. I shot a dragon.
You shot a dragon?
I did shoot a dragon.
I mean...
I shot at a dragon.
Oh, she hasn't pulled out her gun yet. She
No.
wants to pull out her pepper box and show us me.
If I may, and he kind of holds out his hands.
She'll set it in his hands. As long as you don't aim it at me, we are fine.
I don't think I'll be aiming it at anyone right now.
Right now?
Yes, I do want to at least try it once. You think I'm just gonna let you flash it in front of me and then walk away?
You got a point. Training starts tomorrow.
More than happy.
I made it myself.
And you still say that you haven't surpassed me. This is... It's so nice to see that you've gotten so far. Done so much. I mean, would you agree with me if I was to say the dragon's definitely the high point?
Dragon is definitely the high point, but not the biggest fight.
You've had a bigger one.
Well, in the process, I guess. Then she's going to go on to explain the whole Seven Ascended deal.
His brow just kind of furrows the entire time, just kind of getting deeper and deeper into thought.
And I know it's pretty dangerous, but it's necessary that it's happening, I guess would be the way to put it. We can't just ignore it. Thoughts?
They are anything that you would even compare into the same vein as a dragon, nevertheless value and put it as more dangerous is almost unthinkable. And the fact that you say that there's 7.
Yeah, and we've only killed 1, right?
You've killed none.
They are all still
We
out
have
there.
killed none. But we have met 3 now? Correct me if I'm wrong.
3 confirmed.
Mm.
I'm sorry, this is the thing where I as a DM cannot confirm nor deny.
God damn it.
Because this
As
is
a-
current.
No.
Have fun. Roll a history check.
I would say
I know
What?
everything within the past month.
Gordos,
Tell me.
Lacum, Kalung.
She does. Tell her right now.
I mean, these are the things. Yeah, these are
Pockbot.
who your allies believe. You've seen
At least
Pockbot,
4.
Lacum, Gordost, and Kalung.
Oh,
And they're all equally as terrifying, and most of them are just really annoying.
The you have to understand when you start and preface it of all of these nigh unstoppable omnipotent-esque beings, and then you say the worst part about them is that they're annoying.
They're very annoying. They're persistent. Lackham is just snobby and stupid. And then I cut off my ear because all he wanted to do was eat flesh. That's all he cared about. They're mostly just... Fighting them is very difficult. They've almost killed most of our team multiple times. And yet, they just think it's fun. They don't... As a very wise person who I would like to consider close to me at this point once said, they only view us as dogs, and that is how they treat us. Little pets.
Well, the best part about being viewed as a dog, I'd say, is no one will really blame you when you bite them. These people, these things, they sound awful. They sound terrifying. They sound beyond unbelievably God's awful. But yet I struggle to find myself worrying because, well, you're the one telling me about them. And from your stories, the other 4 that you frequent the world with, if there are 4 other people that are anywhere to as powerful as you've become, Nime, and those people are on all 5 of your shit lists, I feel good about the world's chances.
Oh, that was pretty sweet. Oh, man. Thank you, Esme. You know, actually, I do want to know, have you noticed anything strange surrounding you specifically since staying here?
Surrounding me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, besides the obvious of this thing kind of gesturing to his stomach, not going away, I don't believe so. I've had...
What forms do her all-seeing eyes come in, JC? Do I know that? Because she scryed on Zex that one time, I thought.
She does, and Zex described it as an arcane ball. like just a
Just
ball.
want to make sure she's not keeping tabs.
A ball of arcane
Okay.
energy. As you can see, he does like go through his things and just like I don't I don't believe anything's believed I was worth staring at in a while.
I just have to be sure that you're safe.
Look, I've
Not
been
that I don't think you can't handle yourself, but especially not with that wound.
I'm not defenseless. I've been out of it for a while, but I've still got a good fight in me.
Well, then I'll have to have you prove it as soon as this medicine's done.
Whenever the medicine is done, make sure that you've also eaten. The stew's gonna get cold.
Oh my god, it's been here the whole time. I'm gonna slurp it down.
It seems the one thing I can still beat you in is in the act of doing things quietly.
Look, all I'm gonna say is that there's nothing wrong with gazpacho, okay? While she sips her almost cold soup.
I never said there was.
Well, after eating, I don't know what happens then, because I'm assuming they're just speaking with each other about everything that's going on.
Mhm.
That's all I could think of for this day. Other than her sleeping arrangements. I don't know where she's sleeping.
He will basically, if you do fully decide to stay here, he shows you that the other room is just a bedroom, and he sleeps in the main room while allowing you to sleep there.
What a gentleman. Okay. I suppose that will be the sleeping arrangement for tonight because we're still measuring the comfortability of this man.
All right, with no shenanigans by Nime.
Yet.
We are going to give a quick jump over back to Papihos. Gilgamesh,
Yo, yo, yo.
today is a special day to you.
Is it my birthday?
You know, it might as well be because there is a set of armor that has been finished.
And the next
There has been, as today, Gilgamesh, you head down over to a familiar artificer's office. Jesus, forge.
Office.
Yeah, he's got a bow tie now. Tofan the Minotaur.
Bow tie and a desk job.
Bow tie and a desk job. As you head over, as this is the day that Tofan had talked about and told you that he should have it done by. And as you move up and kind of knock on the door, you can hear this kind of crackling sound. And then Tofan's going, come in. I left it unlocked for you.
I mean, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
You walk in and you can see this kind of spark of lightning flash over the shoulder of the Minotaur, who's facing away from you at the moment, Tofan, as you can hear this kind of tapping of metal with this arcane energy flashing off. He's like, 1 second and it will be done. And as you kind of peek around alongside him, as opposed to the majority of people who you just simply look over, you can see he has this brass rod that he is tapping against the armor, and you watch this green and blue lightning go out of it into your armor piece. Before he kind of runs it straight down the middle, and this bolt of green, blue, and then finally at the end, this red spark flies off of it before he pulls away, and you can see the rod smoking before he kind of sets it down, and this heavy sound of gloves hitting each other as he kind of smacks his hands together. All right, that should be it. And takes off the gloves and grabs your chess piece and hands it over to you. And you can already see this glorious shine and polish to it that has a bit more of this blue-green tint that you saw in it before kind of coming off of it. Should be all good to go.
Can I just take a quick second and, like, very meticulously just inspect my armor? Because I very, very well know the ins and outs of this armor and how it should look and, you know, different things.
Absolutely. You can make an investigation check using your smithing proficiency if you'd want to.
Ooh, okay. Oh man, I actually get to grab dice this session. I love rolling dice in a dice rolling game.
Not like good dice.
So you said with my smithing proficiency?
Yes.
Huh, okay. Invest. Oh. Ooh. I don't even think it really matters too much. I got a nat 20.
You spend a good, basically you just kind of set yourself up, kind of with your 1 foot on a chair, leaning the armor against your knee and turning it over. And it, in and out, it is clean and polished and ready to go. A lot of the wear that you had put on it seems to have been almost taken out. And as you look on the inside where the connectors for the armor are, you can see barely visible are these kind of runes inscribed on the armor, and you can see that's where the largest amount of green-blue energy comes off of and kind of flows throughout the rest of the armor, almost as if like a bloodstream of arcane energy.
Oh wow, that's kind of cool. But there's nothing like... He didn't ruin my armor, basically.
I do not think Gil would consider this armor ruined by any extent.
That is all I needed to hear. Alright, well... I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm gonna get out my, very large bag of coins. And just kind of, like, stare at him while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm, like I said, I'm just not going to say anything, and I'm just going to hope that he, you know, figures it out.
He kind of looks at you and kind of leans over for a second and tap something, and you can feel this almost like small, subtle force like pulling the bag slowly from your grip. If you want to let it go, it goes.
No.
Okay.
What is he tapping on?
He just tapped on his desk.
I don't think homie knows how much money I have in this
I don't
bag.
think he knows either.
I'm gonna like kind of jerk the bag back a little bit and
It's not
ask,
hard.
How much?
Oh. Uh, that's on me. It'd be 2,000 gold pieces. I thought, normally when that much comes in, some of it comes in like, silver and stuff, so.
Gil is going to take out exactly, no more, no less, 2,000 gold pieces, and put it on the table.
Alrighty. Pleasure. I hope you like your armor.
And then just as swiftly as he came in, he leaves.
Bye. Alright, Gilgamesh. Your armor has been acquired.
Great!
The current state of the day, you have not heard nor seen hide nor hair of Rem, Zex, Suna, or Nime. For a while, Zex, the most recently you saw, but he's currently off. He took a contract going northward to Sabline, escorting some people there. And so you are the only member of your group in Greywall. Is there anything specific you're doing now that you're no longer bound by Tofan's work ability?
I would like to make it a theme of the party, and I would also like to leave Greywall.
Sick. Where?
There's no protection here.
Where?
I hope
Greywall's
nothing
just
happens.
fucking gone when you're back.
Yeah.
There's not even Barris there anymore.
That's what I'm saying. There's nobody here to protect it if something happens.
So where are you going? Where are you abandoning Greywall for?
The one place that people like me. I'm going to Daycaria.
Alrighty. I do have to know, how are you traveling to Daycaria? Because I want to know if you're doing it the correct way or the funny way.
Are those my only two options?
I mean, just say how you were planning on traveling there, and I'll let you know which option it was.
I mean, the crown is aware of my existence. So
absolutely.
I'm just gonna go up through the castle and just tell them I need to get to Daycaria as soon as I possibly can.
The smart way. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Gil
The
does
funny
think
way
about
would just
things
be
every so often.
The funny way would just be walk straight there.
Yeah, just walk.
Just walk the week.
I think you should walk the week there and kill every monster you encounter the way there as a like training mission. I think you should just walk and like sleep in the woods and like just literally just go fucking ape shit as you do that.
That's a bad idea.
No, well, not for you. It'll be a training mission for you. You get jumped in the middle of the night. It's like 6 bandits. It's like, oh, you're approaching me? What's your plan? And then you just kill them. Yeah, it'll take you some time, but it's training, glory.
That's not how that works.
It'll give you the opportunity to practice dealing with multiple combatants. You might learn something along the way.
I've had so much training with that.
What if he lets you pick a proficiency up quick, fast because you did
Don't
dumb
make
shit?
Deals for me.
I'm not.
I was gonna say, JC, am I
like,
being offered deals if I
no,
spend the week
you should
and
ask
train?
for a deal. You should ask him if you like
I
Bear
don't think
Grylls
that's-
just raw dog straight through. Could you get a survival proficiency or some shit?
I don't think that's how this game works.
You won't know unless you ask.
I did. JC, am I getting any special treatment if I walk?
I don't think the question is if. The question is can you?
Yeah, if
I guess
Can
where's
I-
your question?
can I get a proficiency if I choose to walk?
I don't think I'm gonna give you proficiency if you walk.
Well, then there we go. That's my question.
You didn't ask him what
answered.
one you wanted. Plead your
That's
case.
not how this game works.
The game works the way you want it to work.
I wouldn't even expect one. I was surprised that he said I don't think so.
See, he only thinks. You need him to know. The only way to do that is to sweeten the pot for him. Tell him you will do an encounter. So, like, plead your case. Don't be lame. This
The
is
only-
the guild thing to do.
The only one who's like benefiting out of this interaction is me. Why? Like,
Exactly. You act like I'm trying to convince you, like, something gonna benefit me. This is for you. Plead your case. Do a
don't-
level 10 encounter alone.
whoa.
Gil just
JC,
fucking dies.
If I do a level 10 counter alone, do I get a proficiency?
Oh boy.
And answer me honestly, because if you give me an honest answer, I'll give you an honest answer to tell you if I want to walk.
The real
A survival
look.
proficiency.
The real question is: there are 4 other people in this call. You know, and the fact is, do they want to listen to Alpha roll dice, or do they want to listen to Gil awkward talk the Lord of Decaria?
Oh,
Oh,
we'll
shit.
get both.
Awkward
We'll
talk.
get-
Awkward talk.
We'll
I
get
got
both.
awkward talk.
I don't know. It sounds like awkward
JC,
talk
do I
is
get a-
overwhelming.
Do I get a
Nice.
do I get a Riz proficiency if I
Nice.
If you want.
if I convince Esme to move? Can I get a Riz proficiency?
If you could
Where
fit some
where is he moving?
That is not equivalent. Gil is traipsing through the woods, just walking. What if he does it without sleeping?
No.
You want the proficiency or not? Sweeten the pot.
Not. I don't.
Oh my God.
I don't want the
Oh my God.
proficiency
Leave
enough
it
All
alone.
right.
I'll leave it alone. We got
exhaustion.
10 minutes. I'll leave it alone.
Gilgamesh. You go and talk to Vardair. And they're fine with allowing you to use the teleportation circle, and you head over to the northeastern dragonborn city of Decaria.
Yeah, I do.
And once again, the narrative is thrown to you. Where are you heading? What do you do?
The one place I'm accepted in this town. The castle.
You mean the castle that doesn't fucking exist?
Whatever the government is here. I always forget.
You mean Lord Ironbreath's cottage?
Is it really a cottage?
So,
It's a
so
house.
with Decaria, Lord Ironbreath had kind of disbanded the show of wealth, and basically all public servants.
That's right.
Yeah, all public servants are in that teleportation hub
Oh.
with their work. So your equivalent of going to see the Lord of Decaria is going up a couple floors, like going up a couple flights of stairs,
Sounds
and then you're
good
in
to
that
me.
office that you were in before.
I'm okay with that.
As you kind of walk your way up, you can see there are several other Dragonborns on the way who kind of nod to you as you pass them before you enter into the office that you knew before, just kind of opening the door.
What kind of nod are they giving me? Is it a nod of like recognition?
A nod of recognition and I would say nod of acceptance. It's just like, it's not the upward nod, it's the downward nod of like,
It's the downward nod
of
Oh,
knowing
okay.
who you are.
Yeah,
No
I
one's-
got you.
People, look, Dragonborns aren't gonna say sup to the champion, you know.
They're not gonna say sup and dap me up.
sup, man. O'Brien probably would, but
That's true, but I'm okay if O'Brien does.
That's a halfling thing.
specifically a halfling thing.
Tell me a halfling would not dap up the champion of their race.
Oh hell yeah, they would.
Yeah.
That's how
you think
that's
Bobo
how
was
that's,
doing to Gandalf.
that's
He was
how
dapping
that's
him
how
up.
that's how King Hemptor, the king of the Craria, meets with diplomats. He's so.
I mean, I've established that like manga is a thing in my country, so let's just keep being weird with it.
They're all weebs.
Why not?
As you head in, the first kind of thing that you notice is the draconic skeleton that you remembered from the first time you were in this office is no longer in there. That has been removed, as well as have several, like, basically the decorations along the walls, the different swords, the wildlife heads, every hunting trophy thing has been taken off, but replacing them are different versions of awards. They're not necessarily different spectacles. There are still the as you can see, there is the head of this kind of long serpent that kind of like winds around one of the corner of the rooms and is obviously stuffed. You can see a large ceremonial sword that is set out of the wall, almost as like a sheath has been embedded into the wall and it's ready to be pulled out. And you can see along this along another wall there is a silvered glaive that has been kind of set up there as decoration. As standing kind of looking out of the window with kind of like you can see like a tome in her hand that was looking through but was looking out the window in the moment, kind of snapped shut. This is not the lord that you became the champion under, although you might have been expecting. This is when you met her, Lady Ironbreath, but as she kind of looks at you, should I have expected anything less of you showing up unannounced, champion?
If you expected anything more, you would just be simply wrong.
I'm deciding whether I should be wrong or disappointed or both, but for now, I will say welcome back. You've been out and about quite a while.
And that will resume in due time, but the reason I'm here is because the rest of my compatriots, as well as I, have agreed to take some time off from adventuring for a short while. And so I figured, why not spend at least some of that time fulfilling my duties?
Well, at the very least, you considered your duties. There will always be a place for the champion of Dacaria, and right now it is giving some advice. If you would please come over here.
Gil will do that.
All right. And as she kind of walks, kind of meeting you at the desk, you can see she sets stuff aside. And what you can see is these different records. And if you decide to look at the book a little bit to see what she was looking at, it is a chart showing encounters. It shows a day of like a couple weeks ago, and it talked about elemental spirits that had risen up and harassed workers. Another one talking about an imp that had made its way into the workplace, and all of these things. And as your eyes kind of even glance at, she's like, we've been having trouble once again, I would say, not to the same dire circumstances that you all came and solved before, but we haven't exactly found why things keep finding their way into our heart. And until then, the workers do still wish to continue their livelihood. Protection seems to be in order, and as the Skyrider Academy is still building back up from those lost against the World Eater, this seems like a perfect slot to put you into for the moment.
Very well.
You are welcome to simply dispatch the problems as they arise, or take matters into your own hands, but I am currently out of resources to help you. We'll be pulling back the teachers that were currently on duty protecting them, and it feels wrong to pull them out of one job that they have no place doing and put them into another. I'm sure you understand.
I'd like to think so, at least.
Good. In meantime, this first day, we can have them guard over him for one more day. You deserve to at least know, because I assume you are staying here then for a while, as you said you were, putting a pause on your journeys for a second, which means you do require residence, do you not?
I do.
Well, then we will see that your residence is suitable.
Thank you.
Of course. You can't have a homeless champion, can we? And
I suppose not.
with that, you can basically see as she goes over to this kind of quartz crystal and grabs it and squeezes it and mutters something into it. And these two Dragonborns kind of come into the room with armor on, and champion, if you please follow me, we'll show you to the residence and get you settled in.
I'll just give him a nod and start going.
All right. You are shown to a nice one-story house that has about 7 total rooms in it. It's clean, simple, but effective, and also well stocked. There's a multitude of food and drink supplied to you. Some of it is most likely thrown out, as you are Gilgamesh and they do not know of your current quirks.
That's one way to put it.
As they do find certain bottles of fruit juice thrown out of the house. But the house in itself is probably about half a mile away from the actual building.
That's not that bad.
No, it's not. And just you've basically got all of that, and then throughout the base layout of the house of a living space, a kitchen, a bedroom, of course, bathroom. But the probably most noticeable feature of the house itself is the fact that there is a hatch that allows you to get onto the roof that has in itself just a balcony kind of off it. And so you can spend time in your free time on the roof watching, quite literally watching over people of Dacaria at your house.
Cool.
And with that, at least for the foreseeable future, Gilgamesh will become very acquainted with fire elementals, very acquainted with steam methods, very acquainted with minor imps, as it happens on a weekly basis in Dacaria, where all of a sudden you spend a lot of your time at the heart of Dacaria, the volcano that they use to power the city. And you have a spot. They give you basically one of those cool down sections that the foreman had. And you basically there's this small arcane tab that whenever it begins to shake and vibrate, it is one of the workers calling you. And every single time you head down, and the Dragonborn are very serious and very proud people. This is not something that you do not become a call boy. You are a defender, and this is the best way that they could think to allow you to deploy quickly and effectively. Because you see days where it's just simply just one imp that is harassing workers verbally, and then you see other times where there has been a worker that has been grabbed on the right leg by a fire elemental, and they've tried to pull him into a vat of magma, and you can see the burning all the way around. And you learn that your frost breath, like before, can help in that situation in more ways than one. But nevertheless, and even if you talk to them about it, these workers are steadfast and resilient and want to keep providing for their city.
Nice.
And so you defend them.
In defending them, do they seem, I guess at the beginning, because over time I think it'd wear off, but do they seem impressed with my efficiency in being able to dispatch of anything, really?
I mean, especially in the beginning of the fact that I believe Gilgamesh, the first time there's an imp, the fact that, and someone probably remarks it to you if you ever ask about it, but the fact that it took sometimes hours for other people to take down an imp or a fire elemental, and it's just because they can't they couldn't close it off. They could wound it and it would retreat, but they couldn't finish it, you know? And of the thing of, I believe Gilgamesh could probably cleave an imp in half with just one go if you rolled well enough.
I would hope so.
And so it is this remarkable efficiency until, like, yes, they still appreciate it, but it doesn't get the wonder. They're like, it's more of a pride kind of developing in the Dragonborns of, this is our champion.
Right. Alrighty then.
Well, with Gilgamesh set in his new job, Zex assisting people, and becoming the bit of the go-to mercenary and security in Greywall, Nime setting aside her gun and sword and focusing a bit more on healing her past mentor, and Suna and Rem accompanying each other into the into Rem's home forest and home temple, with the eyes of Netherborough following him. We're gonna call session 93 here. There's everyone's kind of got some stuff going on, and people will be some stuff will be able to happen next session. Well,
Woo, yeah, shenanigans. Yay!
That awkward pause. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Thank you Helminia, James, Alpha, Suzanne, and Jazz for joining me on this trip. I know it's still probably a little weird for you guys to be apart, but you guys are doing great, and it's
I want to say
good.
really quickly, as you say that, I want you to know that all of us are having, or most of us, I'm not sure how James feels because he's had like the least, but I do think he's going to have his time in the sun for sure. Having a good time of seeing how the other characters do in their day-to-day lives. So, you know, I thought this was only going to take 2 episodes. I don't mind if this takes 3 more, or like even 4 more just to get everything done. So like 6 episodes of downtime. Like, we're not streaming for an audience. We stream it because it's convenient. We play for us. I don't mind it, you know? Like, this one was mostly about me, and I get that, but I enjoy Nime's moments, even though, like, I interject here and there, which I'm sorry about. I love her moments. I love what she's doing. I love what Gil's doing, just leaning into his role. I, as a player, even though I may not have the moment to talk or do things all the time, enjoy that, you know, sometimes I have to shut the fuck up for 2 hours, but I still get to experience the story.
Mm-hmm.
And the gratification I get from having it be about me, I know that they also feel about having it be about them. They're like, oh, I don't want to take everyone's time. And it's a thing that we've talked about. I'm just saying this for everyone, that, you know, like Jazz brought it up and we brought it up multiple times. It's like, I feel like I took too much of the session. Take it. Take it. You're not taking as much as you think you are, and enjoy it. So I'm fine with whatever we do moving forward. If we have to have like a 4-hour like Zex session, like I'm fine with it, you know?
What is sex gonna do? I want to know. What would
you
do with 4 hours?
It's a thing of, it's how we picked our downtime, of which, you know, Rem and Nime took things that have to be fleshed out. Like almost each moment has to be looked at because each moment means something. As where like Gil and Zex took something that was powerful but short. You know, like Suna still has all her stuff to do. She has all of her things. Like, we all have things that we want to do that mean something, And I think the early parts of the downtime are the weird part of which it's going to drag. Like, I think the first 6 months of downtime are going to be very slow, and then the rest of it's just gonna it's gonna be over really quickly after we've established like the base of everything. That's how I feel this is gonna go.
More or less, unless something like pertinent arises, I'm done with my downtime. The rest of my downtime is being in Daycaria and being the champion, working.
We gotta
for
throw a
whatever
love
they need.
interest Gil's way.
In that way, yes, but
O'Brien.
when you say pertinent, it could be like 2 months in, like some extra like bold like teenager approaches you and is like, I want to be the next champion. Fight me. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna kill this kid.
I was gonna say I'm
And-
gonna kill a child.
And then like he impresses you with his tenacity, and you're like, you know what? I'm teaching you. Get ready, kid. And like you have like that whole thing. Like pertinent
Right.
information is not like, oh, someone's doing this. Like it could be like along the way Gil meets like a kid and he trains him, or along the way like Rem's boogeyman reputation gets better and worse, or Suna's like surprise surprise, I'm the queen of Papihos now, or some shit like that.
Whoa!
There's ups and downs to it. I'm enjoying the downtime, and I enjoy it when other people are doing their own thing too. I like hearing their story because we're not going to hear it any other way. We're not going to know what they are like any other way. Is it kind of lame sitting here for a long time and not doing anything? Yeah. Does it outweigh the joy that person feels when it's their turn to be in the spotlight? No, not even a little bit. Oh, I'm not doing anything. I'm fucking watching YouTube videos and vibing. I wouldn't be doing anything else. I wouldn't be doing anything else. I might as well listen, right?
Might as well.
And here we get to the crux of the issue of why these 5 people are subjecting themselves to my story. It's because they have nothing else to do.
It's like, okay, what am I gonna do instead of
To
listen?
be fair,
I'm gonna
true.
watch videos, play games, and fucking that's it. You know what James has been doing this whole time? James has been playing fucking Terraria for 3 hours. I bet he's been playing fucking games for the past 3 hours, unbothered. No fucks given. He's just happy to be here. He's
You know
happy
what?
when
I
it's
wouldn't
his
know what else I
turn
would
to
do with my
shine.
Thursday.
You would
Alone.
probably fucking launch up Overwatch and just fuck around while it wasn't your turn.
Cry
Like,
because
that's
it's the
it.
middle of my week.
Yeah, like that's it. Like it's fine. The downtime is fine.
All right.
I'm having a good time.
Well,
I made a whole character while we were just hanging out.
I've had 4 shots of vodka while we were hanging out.
Oh,
all right. Well, with that rant over, I will restate. Thank you everybody so much for watching. My name's JC, and I've been joined here by 5 wonderful people that somehow are patient enough to hear me say way more than I have any right to say. You all have a wonderful week. Make sure to follow if you're watching on Twitch. Make sure to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And I will see you all in the next video or stream. Take care, guys, and have a wonderful rest of your night.